If you want to be rich and happy, don't go to school. So that was Robert Kiyosaki's title for a book that was really controversial, especially with the topic. And I would like to ask you this question. Are you rich and happy as a result of everything you learned in school? So yesterday I was consuming some information online, and some intellectuals were talking about how the school systems run, how, like in the UK, of course, in the UK and the US, like public schools are free of charge, so you don't need to pay school fees. And of course, for a lot of parents, like that's a lot. But then they castigated the fact that most schools, like these public schools in the US and the UK, of course, the government is not going to give you the information or the education that will be useful for you as a person. It's mostly going to give you the information that will be useful to them, like the education that will be useful to them. And if you get to observe, I don't know about you, but I know about myself and so many other people. Of course, yes, my schooling was in Nigeria, and for everything that I was, like, let's say for everything that I am today, yeah, people like to argue that a lot, but to be very honest, they did not teach me. Like, my teachers did not teach me. That's just the very truth. They taught me how to read, like mathematics and all of that. That basic education, of course, yeah, it has helped me, but I don't think that's the major reason why I am where I am today. See, when I see people in the UK and the US, of course, complaining about like the public educational system prepares you for a particular job. They train you to be a doctor, they train you to be an engineer or a lawyer. But these guys who I was listening to yesterday, I've even forgotten his name, but I know Danko was part of them. The other guy is Devon, yeah, Devon, but I've forgotten the second name. And they were saying like a lot of things yesterday that had solid points, because yeah, just like I was trying to say earlier, these school systems, especially I'm talking about the one in the US and the UK from their conversation, it brings up children to conform, right? Instead of like, think of how they can explore the universe, how they can ask questions and grow and create as well. They are more of like being prepared for different roles, for different jobs. That of course these jobs, once you're working, you are paying tax automatically, and then the tax goes to the government. They prepare you for jobs. They don't prepare you to own those jobs. They basically prepare you to work. And when I see them complaining about these things in the US and the UK, about the public school system, it makes me look back at Nigeria, and I'm like, so what do you want us to do in Nigeria if you guys are complaining? Because I know how terrible our educational system is. I think that should be a whole topic for another day, but I know how terrible it is. The key point from that conversation yesterday was that as human beings, we are meant to evolve. We are not meant to do one particular thing for the rest of our lives. So you cannot just say, oh, I am a lawyer or I am a doctor, and then you don't want to do any other thing again. The people are complaining these days that of course AI is taking over. And Devon in the conversation said that you will be worried about AI taking over if you look at yourself as a tool. As a human being, you're supposed to continuously evolve. If you probably learn programming, for example, or let's say content writing, for example, and you see that AI is now creating content. As a human being, you're meant to evolve and say, okay, what next should I do? You're supposed to continue exploring and growing instead of like sticking or um constraining yourself to one particular thing. It doesn't enable you to grow. It doesn't enable you to evolve. It also, like the guy Devon also stressed on the point of persistence. If you're trying to learn something, or you say, oh, I'm not good at this, I don't know how to draw, it's actually because you have not dedicated time and patience and even persistence to be able to learn that new thing, because there is just no way that if you put in a lot of work, a lot of time, and you're patient enough, you're not going to get good at whatever it is you want to do. And when he was talking about it, it just made me like it. I could relate it to my YouTube channel. Of course, today is day 11, and prior to this time, I would not come out on the camera and then talk. Of course, the confidence is not like 100% yet. It's not above the roof, but at least I feel my confidence level is around like 30. So I think it started from -0, and I'm progressing like as we go ahead. So I look at it as me getting better as a result of constant practice. And also, I'm also like open to the fact that, yeah, my videos could be quite embarrassing if I go back to look at what it looks like, and I can fail as well. But these schools, they don't prepare you for failure. They don't make you understand that failure is very important for growth. But look at me using my own YouTube like journey, for example. I am very open to failure. I'm very open to goofing, doing the wrong things, because I know that if I keep doing it over and over again, I'm just going to get much better. So the bottom line of this whole conversation about the school systems and all of that is that in the world of today, if you're trying to intentionally raise a child that will not come out the way you are, like the way probably you've experienced what life is like, and you've seen that the school system has not really taken you, it's more of like your own self-education. So our duty as parents, or let's say as mothers, they're supposed to be the first teachers to our children. And if we dedicate a lot of time, energy, and patience with all of this, the child is not going to come out like the adults we see today, because I know too well that majority of the adults I see today are depressed. They are not happy with life. Yeah, some of them don't even have jobs. The ones who have jobs are struggling to get out of those jobs. I'm part of those people who had a job rather, and I quit because I found out that it was draining me and almost turning me into a zombie. I was more like a living dead. And that's actually a job that somebody else somewhere would have been dying to have. People hate Mondays. People don't want to go to work because they don't enjoy it. It doesn't like fill them up. It doesn't make them happy to be alive. So if we don't want our children to go through that part, our job is to educate our children, like bear that responsibility. And while it's very hard to do all of this, I think the harder work is with what? Building ourselves. So that's just that for today. I'm not going to make it over long. And yeah, today is day 10 of making videos every day on YouTube. So if you'd like to keep on like watching and probably get inspired to start your own thing, make sure you subscribe. So thanks and bye.